Hello and welcome. Today we're taking a look at the SUQQU Winter Color Collection for 2025. I'm so excited for this collection. This has been one of my most anticipated releases of the year. It's so beautiful. So we're going to take a look at this, and these items were gifted to me. And the collection is already launched at Selfridges, but it is coming October 9th to Harrods and Liberty. So let's go ahead. We're going to start off with swatches of the eyeshadows. Our eyeshadows come in the same, our typical traditional SUQQU packaging here. We do have the utensils, but what is different, these are still signature color eyes, but these numbers start with an S. So we have S01, S02, and this one here that I have is S03. So these are not limited edition for the UK. They are making these part of a permanent line for SUQQU. So S03 is the coolest of the three, and that's the one I have here. And we start off with kind of, you can see it's a glittery blue topper shade. And when you pile this up, you get a little bit more of that lighter, paler blue, but when you spread it out, you see a little bit more of a slate blue. The other three shades are all mattes. So we have sort of this putty shade here, like a putty gray, and it's a great base shade in my opinion. Then we have a medium toned cool brown. And our last shade here is going to be a deeper brown. So these are the four shades in S03. Let's take a look at these on the eyes. As usual, the eyeshadows have 6.2 grams of product. They're made in Japan, and we have a 1-year shelf life. The winter color collection from SUQQU is called Hoarfrost Art. And according to SUQQU, it says, as autumn's colors deepen in quiet hush, hoarfrost settles softly on leaves and grass. Unfading hues of blossoms remain, gently embraced by winter's translucent stillness, a fleeting vision of beauty that captures the quiet shift of seasons. From this silent, delicate moment, SUQQU takes inspiration for its Winter Color Collection 2025. Soft, muted tones emerge as though veiled beneath a delicate layer of hoarfrost. As fine as frost, the matte texture melts gently into the skin. Like hoarfrost touched by sunlight, delicate pearls impart a quiet, luminous glow within the coolness. With winter in the air, a serene beauty quietly comes to life. SUQQU brings you sophisticated, modern makeup designed for the winter season. Now, as I mentioned, this collection includes 3 different eyeshadow quads. I have the third one, S03. Now, these are labeled as limited edition, but I have been informed by SUQQU that they are not going to be limited edition for the UK. They will be part of a permanent line for the UK. According to SUQQU, these brown-based eyeshadow palettes come in 3 tones, natural, warm, and cool. So S03 is our cool tone palette. Layering deep, earthy shades inspired by fallen leaves and bare trees creates natural depth and definition. The top left shade with a pearlescent finish evokes a shimmer of hoarfrost. With each blink, it catches the light, enhancing the eyes with a refined, chic impression. In particular for S03, it's a cool tone palette combining a deep grayish with a brown that carries a hint of blue. The silver shade, accented with blue pearl, brings a crisp, frost-like radiance to the eyes. As you can see, this is a beautiful, cool, neutral eyeshadow palette. I love the fact that we have 3 mattes, just a touch of sparkle. You know, it's nice to see mattes kind of taking center stage. We see so many shimmery palettes, particularly at the holiday time, and it's nice to see some more mattes balance this out. It's also one that, you know, this is a great all year round neutral palette, and I really love the tones in here. The formula is going to be the same as usual with SUQQU. We have kind of that creamy velvety texture for the mattes, and the shimmer is like essentially a pressed glitter, very finely milled. We have a range of depths in this palette, but I would say that these are still going to be on the lighter pigmentation side. You know, colors are going to be true to what you see in the pan, but you can put them on and kind of blend them out to be a little bit lighter than what they appear as well. The blue shimmer, you know, it's described as a silver with blue shimmer. To be honest, I don't really see the silver per se. To me, it looks more like a slate blue glitter. So I really think of it more as a blue tone versus a silver tone personally. The shades, I love this kind of stone putty, this putty stone kind of shade first. It's such a great base shade and works really well for fair skin tones, for like color correcting any like veins and stuff on your eyelids or things like that as well. I think all three of the matte shades in here are perfect neutral shades, neutral everyday shades with a touch of coolness that work really well. So I'm very happy with this palette. I think it is gorgeous. And, you know, we're going to just do a couple of quick comparisons. All right, so the very first thing that came to mind when I saw the SUQQU was the Dolce & Gabbana in Chrome Star. So let's start off with this one here. And I really wanted to see kind of these, you know, this shade in particular made me think of the SUQQU. Or the Dolce & Gabbana. And you can see it's kind of close to this one here, but it's got a little bit more of the gray in the stone putty shade there. So I'm just going to swatch the whole palette so you can see the color story. But you can see the Dolce & Gabbana is going to be a shimmery palette, so it's not going to be, you know, a really close comparison overall. It's really just kind of that matte shade here. Let me just go ahead and put these last two there. So that is the Dolce & Gabbana. So our closest shade is going to be this first one here, which is the long base shade in the Chrome Star palette. Another recent cooler neutral palette is 720 from YSL. So I thought we would take a look at this one. And again, we've got quite a bit of shimmers here. You can see we have kind of this topper shade. We have a brown matte. You can see it's a little bit warmer than those in the SUQQU, and it would kind of place itself kind of right in between the putty and the medium tone brown. And then our deepest shade in the YSL is going to be richer, more cocoa. And our last shade is a shimmery taupe, which doesn't quite go. It's probably actually closest to this middle shade. It has a little bit more gray, but it's going to be a shimmery hue. Then I had a few requests to compare some SUQQU palettes. So this is S03. This is the original #1. So this was previously their coolest neutral palette in the original lineup. And you can see this is definitely going to be rosier here. We have kind of some rosier hues, and our browns in here are more neutral versus a cool neutral. And then this is number 11 from the permanent line as well. And I wanted to see how this one compares because we do kind of have this blue shade here. So let's see here. Here's our shimmer shade. This is our blue. And you can see tonally it's more, you know, it's a little bit more of a dusty blue. We don't have quite as much of that purpley gray hue as we do in the Hoarfrost palette. And then we have kind of this more magenta shade and a deeper brown here. And this deeper brown you can see is slightly cooler. We've got a little bit more gray in it than the deepest brown here, but the depth of color is comparable. So I hope that was helpful. And just a few comparisons from the Bibliophilia palette. I want to compare just these two matte shades here and see how they compare. Let's put them down here. And let's go ahead with this shimmer shade as well. And you can see, again, these are a bit warmer. They don't have as much gray. This shimmer shade kind of fits right in between here. But overall, we don't have colors that are really all that close in the Byredo palette. So one more time, let's just go over the shades here. So this is S03 from SUQQU's Winter Color Collection. This is the original 01 in the SUQQU Permanent Collection. This is number 11. And then over here we have the YSL and this is Dolce & Gabbana in Chrome Star, the YSL in 720, and the Byredo Bibliophilia. So I hope that was helpful. Let's move on to the blush. All right, so this SUQQU blush, I mean, it's just breathtaking. Look at that. That is stunning. So we have blue and pink, and you can see this beautiful lilac shade in the middle. This is number 113. It is limited edition, and it's just so beautiful. So, you know, let's go ahead. We'll swatch these shades individually here. So here's the pink, here's the blue. Here they are kind of mixed together. Look at that. Absolutely stunning. And let's just go ahead and we'll buff those out a little bit as well so you can kind of see what they look like together. I mean, it's just such a beautiful, stunning cool tone gradient. I love the blue in here. That really does remind me of kind of like Hoarfrost and so forth. So I think it's a really stunning blush. Let's take a look at this on the cheeks. So in the demos, I'm using the Hakuhodo B5519, and you can see each of the shades individually sort of built up. Then you can see it with the blush with the highlighter on top, and then you can see them kind of mixed together. As for product details, we have a 1-year shelf life. It's made in Japan, and we have 6.4 grams of product. It does come with a little blush brush. I mean, this is stunning. As much as I love the S03 eyeshadow palette, this is the most special part of the entire collection. I mean, there really aren't comparisons to this because you're not going to find a duo quite like this anywhere. You know, it's stunning. So the pink in here, you can see is going to be a cool tone pink. We do have a little bit of blue in there, and you can definitely build that up to a deep medium. And then the blue in here is kind of that frosty, you know, it's not quite a sky blue. I feel like a sky blue can kind of have a little bit more yellow in it. It's like that really, really deep sky blue, almost robin's egg. No, robin's egg blue is still just not quite right. It's absolutely beautiful. So think of like a deep blue sky. And that's kind of what we have here. It's just so beautiful. And you can see that these are pretty pigmented. So typically with SUQQU, these are blush highlighter combos, and that's how this is kind of designed. Our pink blush does not have any shimmer in it, but the blue portion does have a little bit of scattered glitter. It's really not much, so it's not going to look glittery on the skin at all. Let me try to show you that one more time so you can kind of see a little bit of shimmer in the blue. You can see the pink section does not have that, but you can see it's really, you know, there's a low concentration of shimmer in here, and really just a really nice velvety formula here. So let's do just a couple of quick comparisons. Now, the closest I have is 111, which was another limited edition from SUQQU. And you can see we also have kind of a blue-pink combo, but you can see that the colors in here, our pink is really going to be more of a peachy pink, and our blue, sorry, I think I had a little pink mixed in there. Let's do that separately. You can see that it's going to be much paler in general, and both of these overall are going to be slightly warmer in tone than the new SUQQU 113. I also wanted to compare the blue highlighter from Dior. So you can see here, this is a blue strobe number 5 in the Dior Forever highlights. So you can kind of see how that compares. And obviously this is going to be much more glittery. This is more of a shimmer highlighter, but you can see that the Dior has a little bit of a pink reflect in it as well. But the depth of the blue here is just very, very different. This is more, the Dior is more of like an ice blue versus kind of this more, almost a cornflower blue. Then I went to compare the pink to a couple Valentinos. So this is number 1. And let's put that right there. You can see that this is going to be, you know, it's more magenta, less of that blue base in there. And then this is number 3, one of my all-time favorite blushes, by the way. I love this one. Put that right up there. But you can see it's a little bit more mauvey. Like, we definitely have a cool tone bright pink here. This has a little, you know, it's a little bit toned down. These are shimmery as well. So, you know, just something different. I just don't have a blush that matches either the blush or the highlighter shade in here. It's a stunning product. So one more time, just so you can see the blushes again. So this is 113 here. This is our Dior Highlight in Blue Strobe, Valentino blush in number 1 and in number 3. And this is the SUQQU blush in 111, which was a previous limited edition. So I hope that was helpful. Let's move on to lipstick. So in this SUQQU collection, we have 3 eyeshadows. There are 2 blushes. There are also 2 lipsticks. So this is in the relatively recent formula, came out this year. This is the Velvet Fit lipstick. Just like other SUQQU lipsticks, you purchase the refill and then the case can be purchased separately. But what is great about SUQQU refills, they come with a nice secure cap. You can just twist at the bottom. So it's really easy to, just putting it in the lid. It's really easy to use the refills without a case as well. So I have the red shade here in number 106, and you can see it is a beautiful red with a touch of burgundy. It's got those cooler notes to it. It's just a really luxurious red, but there is some pink to this. And I wanted to show you, I've been pairing it with this lip liner from Tom Ford in 105, Private Client, which is right here. So you can kind of get an idea. You can see this is deeper, but the tone is similar. We've got more red in the liner, but you can see they are fairly close. So if you are familiar with this, you can kind of get an idea of what the lipstick looks like. Let's look at it on the lips. The lipstick has 2.1 grams of product and it is made in Japan. And again, you purchase the refill and the case separately. So definitely, you know, if you're interested in a case, don't forget to add that one to cart. The Velvet Fit lipsticks, they are a creamy velvet formula. They feel very moisturizing on the lips. They do not get that kind of powdery dryness to them. They feel very comfortable, you know, I want to say luxurious. They feel luxurious on the lips, almost like you have this velvet texture to them. So incredibly comfortable to wear, very rich in pigmentation. They will stain your lips, you know, and last well throughout the day. So they are not going to be transfer proof, but the pigmentation will remain throughout the day. So really a beautiful product here, and it is a really nice formula for velvet lipsticks. It's probably the closest I've found to the Givenchy Deep Velvets, which have always been my favorite and now seem to be discontinued. So these are kind of the closest of what is currently available on the market that I have tried so far. So really, you know, I'm happy with the formula. I think the red shade here in 106 is a beautiful red, you know, for any time, but we always think of red lips with holiday and it doesn't disappoint. So let's do a quick summary of everything that we've talked about here today. And we started off with the SUQQU Quad in S03. So this is a stunning cool tone neutral quad. We have 3 mattes and 1 shimmer shade. The shimmer shade is going to be more of a topper shade. You know, I think it's a really beautiful palette. I love all of the colors in here. I love this blue shimmer, but I do kind of wish that instead of this being a blue shimmer or topper shade, I kind of wish it was this color, but more of a satin or a shimmery satin. Just something a little bit more pigmented than it actually is. You know, but it's a personal preference there. I think the star of this collection, that's the wrong one. I think the star of this collection is the blush though in 113. It is absolutely gorgeous. Such a beautiful, beautiful duo of colors here. And they both have blue in them. The pink and the blue both have a blue base to them. So this is going to be best for people with cooler undertones. If you have a warmer undertone, this is probably going to be too cool for you. Whereas the S03 eyeshadow palette has those cooler tones, but it really sticks closer to that neutral base. So that's going to work better for a wider variety of skin tones. Whereas this blush is definitely going to be best on those with cooler undertones, or like me, technically I have neutral undertones, but I have those cool overtones in my skin, which gives me a little bit more of an advantage with cooler tones in general. And then the lipstick, I mean, it's such a beautiful red here. Again, we have a little bit of a cooler note to it. There's kind of this pinkish burgundy hue to it that just cools it off slightly. So it's a neutral red that leans cool. It's absolutely beautiful. I think the whole collection is absolutely stunning. Thank you so much to SUQQU for sending these to me. And I hope you have the opportunity to try these out because they really are gorgeous. So again, the collection is already launched at Selfridges, but everything will be available at Harrods and Liberty starting October 9th. So happy shopping, and thank you again for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video and found it helpful, and I will see you very soon. So I hope you have a wonderful day.